Hey guys, I know this video style is really unusual for me. I've been like killing a residency in the mornings and a little too lazy to put myself together for the tarot videos at night to show my face. So excuse the laziness. This is just how we're going to do it. This reading style is a little different than I usually do, but everybody seems to like them this week, so I'll put out all the signs. Keep in mind these readings are general, they're for the collective. So if anything doesn't resonate, just discard it, leave it for someone who needs to hear it. And remember that there is no gender in tarot. If I pull a queen, I'm still talking about a guy sometimes. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. In the description below and in the pin section of the comments is all the ways to contact me for a private personal reading. And I've also linked a friend's channel there if you want to check her out. She is amazing. So these, again, have been quite different, and they are only for specific people, like divine words of wisdom in situations. So if the reading doesn't resonate for your sign specifically, check out your other placements. Your story might be there. And, of course, this is going to be for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So your overall energy here is the Six of Cups. We have the Hierophant, the Four of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, Judgment, the Five of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Empress, the Four of Pentacles, the Moon, Pisces energy, and the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. So I'm kind of looking at a Pisces here who is looking into perhaps the childhood with the Six of Cups. I feel like you had a lot of hopes and ambitions. You felt like you were on the right path. But today you feel abandoned by God, right? Hierophant, the Five of Pentacles. I feel like your upbringing may have been really kind of chaotic. And you're sort of focused on trying to figure out how to work that out. And you know, basically, I mean, I have Judgment and the Hierophant and the Four of Wands here. It's like someone asking to be forgiven and put back on track in life here, because life is honestly just too chaotic. It seems like every day there's a battle. I feel like whichever individual I'm speaking to, maybe subconsciously, because the moon is here, they don't recognize that the first part that I just stated in this reading is not really the truth. I feel like someone here had a very punitive mother or mother figure. It didn't actually have to be a mom, just, you know, the maternal figure in your life. I feel like this person was really hard on you, that they almost like were completely focused on overseeing everything that you would do and constantly almost making you feel like you're not enough. Like there's a Pisces here who has a lack mentality. They feel like, you know, they've chosen the wrong things in life and that they just pretty much will always be a fuck up, you know? And I don't feel this is true at all. I feel like somewhere in your mind is this punitive parent, this like idealized parent, someone that you look at like, you know, they literally cannot do wrong, you know, and you will forever live in their shadow. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. it's sort of a lie to yourself. It's these are not really your ideas. Someone else gave these ideas to you. They gave this drama to you. The dramatic side where you're always ready to fight and just be loud and scream your part, and this lack mentality where you just always feel like you will never be enough is actually, it's not actually a part of you. It's a part that you've integrated into you from this idealized punitive parent, if that makes sense. So, I don't feel like this parent, meant you any harm intentionally. It's more of a situation, I'm not sure if some folks had maybe more of like a kind of more narcissistic parent or something like that, where they expected their child to be sort of an extension of themselves and to always make this parent look good. And that's a very hard position to be in as a child, and even as an adult child. You just feel like you are never living up to what is expected of you. And so I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, it's kind of like taking action on this root work. It's like recognizing, because I'm not telling you anything here that you're not recognizing yourself. That, because you're paying attention to this, the Six of Cups, you're thinking about your childhood and what home life was like when you were growing up. And maybe on the outside, it looked very good, but on the inside, things were falling apart. And it basically turned into you becoming that parent as an adult toward yourself, not towards your children. I'm talking about towards yourself. But there's this recognition here that you carry around this person, because it's really whoever, your probably main parent was here, or your maternal figure, definitely. That person's words reside in your head. So I see that there is this want to kind of like take action on your stability, and you feel like it's going to take a long time, but if you really focus and work on yourself, you can kind of get back to this place. So there is real recognition here that somebody kind of like went through this, and that basically they've been living this lie that someone else gave to them. When we kind of look at this in the opposite direction, I see you moving towards these subconscious memories and realizing that what really always held you back was the idealization of this parent, that you would never be what they are. And you've always focused on what they were doing and trying to become that or be like that. That's where all this chaos comes from. So I feel like perhaps the hardest part here will be this judgment energy, where you actually would have to forgive yourself for mistakes, because you're human and you actually were allowed to make mistakes despite what this maternal figure made it seem like. But I feel like there also would have to be forgiveness on this parent's end. And this is, the punitive parent. This parent is never going to ask for forgiveness. You're just recognizing that you have to forgive them on your own. And in order to kind of, I feel like on the family sense, I'm speaking to a family that's kind of separated. They've kind of all abandoned one another. They're still technically a family, but they're not like a unit. And somewhere in your mind, you're the one who has to change that structure in the family. It's like recognizing that this is a generational curse. It's like you kind of look at, let's say that this Empress is your mother, and you realize, well, she probably was that type of parent because her parent was that type of parent. And then you're kind of looking at it like, okay, well, how do I change up my life so that I, don't become this person and become that type of parent so that my kid doesn't feel like me, type of thing. This is very generational curse breaking. And I'm not calling anybody's parent a narcissist. I'm saying they have some very narcissistic traits where, they just felt like they would not be accepted unless their family and their children were in fact perfect, which of course is not a real reachable thing in life here. So it looks like in the current time, whoever I'm speaking to is really looking into these childhood traumas and trying to spin it around and change it. But also recognizing that this is not something that is going to happen overnight, that you have not actually been, abandoned by God or anything like that. You've just been a little lost in yourself for a while. So I feel like I'm looking at a Pisces who has kind of figured out the necessary steps to go through this, to release those punitive thoughts. And there's forgiveness for themselves here, but also this idea, this understanding that this will not be an overnight thing, that it's going to be a long, hard process to really get to this stable mentality in your life where you are enough and you are loved, and you're not abandoned by the universe or by God. If anything, you were chosen. A curse breaker. Okay, that's what I have for you guys. I'll see you soon.